Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I've shot an actual video, but the last 7 months have been absolutely crazy for me, even to the point of me battling depression. So I'm going to talk about that. So I'm coming back, shooting my videos every week as I promised. And I really realized in this whole 7 months that I really can't let anything stop me, especially when I know God has called me to do a work, when I know God has called me purposefully. So this video today is actually going to be my testimony about what's been going on for the last 7 months. So if you like this page, go ahead and click the like button on this video. If you like this channel, go ahead and subscribe, because I am coming back with more videos. And then of course you can like me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Okay, I am on Tumblr, but you know, I gotta get that name because I'm not sure where I am there. But anyway, definitely on Snapchat as well. So go ahead and like those pages. So the last 7 months, let's start from August of 2018. Let me tell you guys what has been actually going on. So August 2018, a friend of mine, she had to move, and so she was waiting on her new place to be ready. So what she did, she really didn't have any place to go because she had these 2 little dogs, and no one would actually take her and the dogs and her kids. So she was like, I'm going to be sleeping in my car. So I'm like, no, don't do that. Come on, you can come over here, bring your dogs, okay, and just until your place is ready, you know. And so she came over on a Friday in August, and I could tell that she was depressed. I could tell that she was sad. She was suffering from some things, but, you know, I just kept her lifted in prayer. But then Sunday morning came, and we couldn't wake her up. Ultimately, guys, she passed away in my home, in front of my children, in front of hers. This was really devastating. I had never seen anything like it. I mean, the coroner showed up, body bag showed up. I mean, it was really detrimental to us. I mean, it really was. It took a little toll. But, you know, I'm keeping my faith in God. I know everything happens for a reason. And you know what? I'm just happy she passed away with someone who unconditionally loved her no matter what. And so September rolls around. And in September, we are trying to get things back on track. But things are getting worse. My son is a junior in high school, and he's working now, and he has to do volunteer hours, and of course he has to keep up on his studies. And then of course, compounding her passing away in my home, it just became a lot for him, very overwhelming. And so he even contemplated suicide, and he even came to me and he's like, Mama, I need help, and I need help tonight. And so I had to take him to the hospital, and of course they hospitalized him for a week or so, and now he's under therapy. But I just thank God that we were able to get through that. But you know, as a mother, you know, that was one of the most heartbreaking things that I've had to go through with my son, simply because when they get in that space, it is out of your hands. You can discipline, you can talk, you know, you can be a mom to them, do everything that you can as a mother to make sure that they have everything they need. But when it comes to a mental issue, when it comes to being overwhelmed and suicidal, it's really out of your hands. And I really felt helpless. But God came through. He's doing better now. But then what rolls around is October. October comes around, and while my son is getting better, my daughter and her friend relationship began to fall apart. And this was very, again, something out of my control, something that has to be done, right? Life happens to us all. Her and her best friend got into it so tough. And one of the things that did for my daughter was it really began to mess with her mentality of who she was and what type of person she was. She really began to question everything that me and God had instilled in her. And so for me, that was a real problem, you know. But again, I had to let God be God in that situation. Ultimately, her and her friend, they are no longer friends now. And the young lady was actually living with me as well. And so she ended up moving back, going back home to her mom. And then at the end of October, so, towards the end of October, I get a call about my nieces, which is my brother's daughters, and that they've been put out. Can you go get them? I'm like, sure. Now I'm thinking they probably just had a riff in the family. I'll let them stay with me for a couple of days and send them back. No, 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 no. I get there, they're put out, okay, by their grandmother and their aunt. And now I have 2 more bodies coming into the home. And you know what? It's okay, but ultimately, my thinking was I'm going to launch my YouTube channel. I'm going to get my son together and focus on him so we can get ready for college. I'm also going to really work on my workshops. I mean, I'm just going to take this full force. And then my 2 nieces showed up. And not only did they show up, but they come from an environment that left a lot of their spirit broken and hurting and needing someone to just show them the unconditional love of God. And so when ultimately I found out that they had to start living with me, I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. This is in October now. At this point, I'm becoming overwhelmed because I am depleting my savings. And as sisters, we know how to keep a coin, all right? But because of the increase in my household, my daughter, my son, and not to mention the 2 dogs I have from August, and now my 2 nieces and myself, it becomes overwhelming. And let me tell you something. All of this is on my shoulders. I'm beginning now to get overwhelmed. But you know what? Again, I said, you know what? I'm trusting you, God. I know this all for a reason. And so my money actually runs completely out. And my daughter comes to me and she says, I'm going to go ahead and move out. She gets her place. And in November, she moves. I'm happy for her. She's 22, 23. So, it's time for her to venture out on her own. I'm like, okay, yeah. But I can't even have a mother's moment because I'm yet overwhelmed. And at this point in November, I am battling and trying to really keep my head above water. And I know that I'm battling depression at this point. And so I find it difficult to get out of bed. I find it difficult to go to work. I find it difficult to pray. I find it difficult to eat properly, let alone exercise. I find it difficult to even function at work. But you know what? I know God has a plan. And at this point, when I find it difficult to pray, all I can say is, Lord, I trust you. God, I trust you. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust you. So then November rolls around, and of course, you know what? We're going to have a Thanksgiving. So we have Thanksgiving. Me and my daughter, we cook. It's a great time had by all. And then I turn around and I get in a car accident that I caused. Now, I consider myself a pretty good driver. Don't get me wrong. I'm a little speedy, but I consider myself a pretty good driver. So for me to rear end someone, and then I bang my head on the steering wheel so hard that I had to go to the hospital afterwards because I seriously thought I had a concussion. I didn't, but I hit my head on the steering wheel pretty hard. So now I have to deal with the insurance company, and you guys know everything that comes with getting into a car accident. At this point, I'm done. I'm like, you know what? I don't even know what else could happen to me at this point because I am in full-blown depression. A friend of mine called me and she says, hey, Nefra, I notice, you're just not yourself these days. And I know you're going through a lot, but I just want you to know I'm praying for you. And in that moment, I decided to really talk to her because one of the things that we don't do when we are in trouble is we don't open our mouths. We deal with it on our own. And me, knowing me, I'm like, you know what? I have to open my mouth and say I need help. And in that moment, I talked to her. I confided in her. I let her know everything that was going on. And I was just about to give up on everything, give up on the workshops, give up on everything that I wanted to accomplish, my dreams, my goal, my purpose, everything God laid in front of me. I was ready to give up. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I said, I'm in depression at this point. And I told her I couldn't even shoot a video for my YouTube page or let alone for Instagram or for whatever I was trying to do. I could not in good conscience shoot a video because one thing I don't believe in, guys, is giving people something that you don't have for yourself. And guess what? I didn't have it for myself, so I couldn't encourage you or give it to you. I first had to, really get down to business about what was going on with me and this depression. So I began to, talk to her about it. And after I talked to her about it, I was really feeling a lot better. I really, really was, even to the point where I was getting counseling myself and reaching out for help myself. And so things were getting a little better, but in December, I canceled Christmas. Wasn't no Christmas over here. We're done. This depression, I really have to focus on me and take the time out for me. And in the month of December, I did that. January rolls around. It's the start of a new year, new beginning. So I'm like, you know what? God, if you want me to continue doing what you want me to do, you're just going to have to make a way here, because I am emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, I'm drained at this point. But I'm still, functioning, because that's what we do. We walk around with the I'm okay on our chest, but yet we're not. But I'm glad I'm getting the help that I need. And so, looking at my finances, moving forward, trying to do the workshops, I'm coming up with ideas for the finances and things of that nature. And I pray to God. I'm like, Lord, these workshops, I know they're making a difference. People are telling me they're making a difference. So if you can't get this done, then I'm just going to have to stop. I'm just going to have to stop, because see, the God I serve can handle not only all of my bills, but workshops too. And if you've been handling all of my bills, but Lord, you got to handle these workshops too. Okay? So when I was about to give up, I said, you know what? I'm just going to throw in the towel. A young lady comes to me and says, you know what? When is your next workshop? Because I want to come. I want to, so I was like, you know what? It's going to be in February. I'm speaking by faith now. I said, it's going to be in February, because it was January at that point. And she says, well, you know what? God laid it on my heart to pay for your room. I said, okay. So I was like, all right, well, get with my assistant, and which is my daughter, by the way, and go ahead and book that room. So she booked the room for February. So I went and told a friend. I was like, okay, guy's showing up. He's showing up because somebody just offered to book my room for February. She was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad somebody did that, because God laid it on my heart to book the room as well. Pay for a room booking for you as well. And I'm like, okay, I can feel this. So then she books the room for March. So I'm like, okay, God, I got you. I hear you. Let's keep going. He'll work it out. I'm still battling depression, guys. Matter of fact, I'm up to my old habits. I done grabbed a little liquor. I'd even started back smoking, and I had stopped smoking, and I was doing great with it, thanking God for deliverance. But I had even went back to that. Like I say, old habits. When you're in depression, it would bring you all the way down to what are some coping mechanisms, not deliverance, coping. And I was so, and so now that I'm smoking, I'm even mad at myself, because I can't. How am I going to move forward? Because you're going back. I'm thinking, how am I going to move forward? You're going back. So that makes you even more depressed, because you're beating yourself up. But I'm still working on it. At least I'm able to pray with the person that I'm talking to. At least I'm able to really now make my request known to God. So he showed me that song. He's like, okay, Nefra, I got you. So then my friend comes to me again, Paisley, and she says, you know what? Carve out January 26th. I don't need you doing anything that day. I got something for you to do that day. I'm like, okay, great. So January 26th comes around, and she comes to my house. Guys, let me tell you something. She has gathered every woman in my life, every woman that I have ministered to, mentored to, who've attended the workshops, my children. She gathered them, everybody that she could think of on January 26th, for them to pour back into me. Let me tell you something, guys. They put in for me to get a massage. I had an overnight stay at a Ameristar in St. Charles. They got my nails done. I got a manicure. I got a pedicure. And then towards the evening, really, I thought I was done, right? because I had some plans with another friend of mine, Kathy. Because she said she wanted me to go to this banquet, and she's really, telling me that she wants me to go because her husband can't go with her. They didn't pay for the ticket. So I'm like, okay, great, let's go. I walk into my own Nefra appreciation dinner where women that I have ministered to, again, I've poured into, have come to my workshops. Each and every one of them was there to show me love. We know you've had a rough 6 months, they tell me, and we know that you have just been holding your head up high, and you have been letting us not only see you suffer, but open up about that. And that has been even more of a blessing to them than what I've done in the past. Guys, let me tell you, in that moment, in that time when all of my friends and my children even got up and talked about me as a mom and all of that, really, when I tell you my heart was full, when I tell you if that didn't pull me into the right direction of where God wants to take me, I don't know what could have. But let me tell you something, guys. It pulled me. It pulled me to stand, to fight. It pulled me to say, you know what? The story's not over. Yeah, these things happened to me. And guess what, guys? They were not detrimental things. But what they did was they changed the course of where I thought I was going. And that's what God's going to do sometimes. He's going to throw that monkey wrench in just to see, are you dedicated? Can you hold on? Where's your faith? Where's your mental state? Where's your emotional state? And I had to know that not only how I support others, others can in turn support me. Let me tell you guys, I'm on the road to recovery. I'm on the road to deliverance. No more depression, no more smoking, no more drinking. We're out of that, okay? We're done. But I'm telling you this testimony to let you know I still consider myself a woman of God, yet powerful, strong in my own right. Yes, I make mistakes and I have problems and I get issues and I battle every now and then, but that does not mean that you cannot get yourself up, dust yourself off, and try it again. I'm trying it again. I need you guys to know I'm flawed, but so are you. But that does not mean God can't use you. That does not mean that he cannot be a blessing in your life and you live the life you want and be the person that not only you want to be, but he called you to be. Because who he called you to be and who you want to be, many don't understand. That's the same thing. So I hope that my testimony has blessed somebody. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to be back every single week. I am determined now. I am motivated, inspired by the divine power that worketh within me to keep going. Again, if you like this video, please hit like. Please share it. Somebody may need to hear that what you're going through ain't the end. Somebody needs to hear that God is for you, yet things are happening over and over and over, and you feel like you can't win. He's for you. He's for you. So I want to thank you guys for taking time out of the day to look at my video. Again, please like it, share it. Hit me up on social media, NefraMoorePresents. And until next week, I am loving you all in God. God bless.